you can sometimes gain weight on that one. The patch is a similar thing. It goes on your arm, and you wear it for 3 weeks, and then you take it off, and you get your period, and then you put a new one on for 3 weeks, and that's how that one goes. And that releases enough hormones into your body to keep you from getting pregnant. I think that's the one that you should not be taking if you smoke. You know, it can just cause, you know. Yes.
I do have a question. How would you say that stereotypes and like social pressures affect the use of birth control within like both men and women?
That's a really good question. It's a really good question because our program here in the Teen Parent Program is filled with people who many did not want to have a child, but like they couldn't talk to their parents and say, I am in a relationship and I think it's heading down this road and I need help. And a lot of times I've had people, actually it was interesting, the girl's mother had graduated from our program and had her when she was 15, and now we have the 15-year-old. And so you would think the mom would be like, hey, okay, I want you to be protected since you're in this relationship. No, it was like, do not have sex. That's a great concept. That is the only 100% way of not getting pregnant, is to not have sex, and we are all about that here. But we also know that the reality is once you start going down that road, it's really hard to retract and not go down that road if you're in a relationship. So, I mean, we really encourage people to not go down that road until you're in a really stable situation. Like done with high school or married or whatever, but we're also realists. We're not gonna say, okay, we told you not to have sex, so now you won't, because that doesn't happen here. But anyway, a lot of people wish that they had, that they could talk to their mom or dad, or that they could talk to an aunt, or have somebody to talk to. Like, that seems to be the biggest thing, is to have somebody to talk to that would drive you to Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is completely confidential. A 13-year-old can walk in their doors and get protection, and without any parental consent. I will say that if you already are pregnant and you are going to take like the abortion pill, there will need to be parental consent, and that's just how that law goes. I think until you're I don't know, maybe even 18 if you're a teenager.
Do you feel like abortions should stay legal?
Personally, you know, that's a personal thing for everybody. I personally think that it should be legal, because there are just way too many reasons that women should have final control over what is going to happen to their future and what is going to happen to their life. Sometimes they have non-consensual, you know, sex, like a date rape or whatever. They should have a choice whether they're going to alter their whole future because of something that someone else did. The program is also filled with people who just made the choice, you know, like, hey, we love each other, we're gonna have a baby, and that happens sometimes. Also, drugs and alcohol are a huge issue with whether people protect themselves or not. You know, you can find yourself at a party. We've had people in our program in years past that actually thought they were still virgins, and they ended up pregnant because they were at a party and everything got crazy. We've had people roofied. You know what a roofie is? Where their drink got something in it, and they didn't even know they weren't virgins anymore, and they're having a baby, and they have no idea who the dad is. So there's some barriers for you. So the biggest barrier is having somebody to talk to if you know you're going down the road. The other thing that you can do for your own self-care is to not get trashed out with drugs and alcohol. Even if you think you're with a group of friends that are going to protect you, they might be drinking and not be able to protect you either, or get you out of a bad situation. So that's just a really big deal. But I think abortion should definitely stay legal, because I think that is a woman's ultimate right. We've had incest, you know, we've had different things happen that you should not be forced to alter your future because of somebody else's wrongdoing. That is my thought. In the pregnancy, we tell them what all their choices are. We would never make a choice for anybody, but it's not my job to make a choice for anybody. It's my job to let everybody know what is available in our community. So let's see. But back to different kinds of birth control. There's one that is called, just because there was only one more I think that I could think of, patch shot, pills, IUD, Explanon. There's also another one that is it's called the NuvaRing. It's this little squeezy ring that you actually put inside of you, and it lives in there for 3 weeks. It keeps you from getting pregnant. It releases a little bit of progesterone, and it does not cause weight gain because it's so localized. But you keep it in there for 3 weeks, kind of like it lives right around your cervix. And after 3 weeks, you take it out and have your period, and then use a new one. It's kind of the most expensive. If you have Medicaid, though, you can have really any kind of birth control that you want.
Do you think birth control should be cheaper? I mean, I don't know what other word to use, but more accessible to teenagers and people that like don't have that kind of money?
I do. I do. And, you know, people have done a lot of, have given a lot of funding to Planned Parenthood for just that. You know, they have some grants to help, especially teenagers, so that they can like finish their education, stay in school, and all of that. Do I think it should be more available? For sure. Like I heard, I haven't been there yet, but I've heard that they have a clinic in the Basalt High School where you can actually go in and talk to a nurse and get birth control. I'm assuming that that's still true. That was a few years ago. But I love that idea because, like, there you are, taking the shame out of it and just saying, if you are in this situation, please take care of your future, take care of yourself. We know firsthand the realities of teen parenting, and we even do a panel of teen moms who go into health classes and say, this is what I thought it was true, and this is what's really true. Because there are, I want to say probably more people in our program actually knew how to not get pregnant than the other way. Sometimes it was more like they had a fantasy in their mind. Oh, I love this guy, he says he loves me, he says he'll be around forever. By the time you graduate, we have very few dads still in the picture. You know, it's only happened a handful of times over the 10 years I've been here, is that the dad was still in the picture. And now even them, I don't even think any of them really are. Not to say that it can't happen, it can, but it's pretty rare. So one of the big indications for pregnancy is a fantasy that, you know, he's gonna, okay, we'll go and like, give me just a few minutes. You know, I'm sick of my parents. I want out of my house, and he says he'll love me forever, and I'll just move in with him. You end up living with your parents like decades longer than you would have if you have a child. The other thing is, we'll go get an apartment together. Nobody rents to teenagers ever. It's almost impossible unless you know somebody with an apartment that will rent to you. A lot of people get really judged harshly, which I think is really unfair. I don't think we have the right to judge other people, but like when they're pushing their baby through the grocery store, it's like, oh, is that your little brother? And oh, you're so young. And you know, like there's a lot of things that are really difficult about being, everybody that says, oh, I'll be there for you, all of their friends disappear, except for maybe other moms, you know? Do you want to add, if you want to throw anything into this conversation? She's the pro here.
We actually do have one question.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
What do you think that the stereotypes surrounding it should be changed?
Oh yeah, you go.
Well, it's like, you know, it's everyone's opinion in birth control, and to me, I do think that it should be more accessible to teenagers, because like I'm only 14 and I'm pregnant, and well, I didn't really, for us, we didn't really have enough to get birth control because it's pricey. So yeah, it should be accessible, because there's not much, to us, there's not much knowledge that we know until you're actually in that position where you're becoming a mother and you're gonna baby, and no matter what your age is, you're gonna need to grow up and be an adult. And the stereotype around it, well,
Well, no, that's a good. I'm glad you said that. Although I do, before I have to run to Planned Parenthood, I do want to say one thing. If anybody here or anybody in your school walked into Planned Parenthood and had no money, they would get you birth control. So it is available. It's nice to encourage our community to donate and to fund Planned Parenthood. That's for sure. But you could get birth control right now for free if you needed it, and that's just really important to know. And hopefully, all schools will have that kind of a clinic after a while too, where you can just get it if you need it. But
There's a free long-term contraceptive to teenagers. The Garfield County declined this offer. Do you think it should have been offered?
I think it should have been offered because all these girls from my school don't know how to take care of themselves. So having something to be able to do something bad and be able to fix it should be always up.